Well, this is going to be a long one. Well, hello everybody, it's DeanSpillaBean back on your screen with a State of Dean July, if I hopefully get this out on time. I'm hoping I do. If I don't, well, I guess the first for everything. So in my last State of Dean, I mentioned that I'd be working on some world tour things of my Satisfactory and Minecraft worlds before I get into a lot of effort towards the story things that I've been wanting to make. Quite obviously, that hasn't happened yet. Why? Honestly, I just wanted to get another Satisfactory episode out before I did any of that, because I felt like this would be a really nice thing to just completely input all of my focus on. So, now that I got my Satisfactory video done, I'm going to be working on those World Tour videos, and alongside that also work on actually making the story. I hope, before the end of August, that I'll get both World Tour videos out, as well as the next part of my story thing that I've been wanting to make. That is my hope and goal for August. That would be kind of neat. However, I do think a few interesting things going on. July, and there ended up being a lot of things that I had to do that kept me busy. A lot of work-related stuff, family things that just kind of culminated all in July. And going into August, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Because, I'm starting some classes in the fall. I'm going to be taking some filmmaking classes, mostly because I just want to get better at filmmaking. So, yeah. I personally don't think I can learn more than what I already can using the internet and just a lot of experience. But what I will get is to just be around a lot of people that also are into editing videos and recording stuff. And I can probably just be with people and talk about these things. Hopefully this will improve my skills as a video editor and recorder and writer. Ooh, that'd be neat if I can write things. I'm not the biggest fan of school class stuff in general, mostly because the internet has a lot of options, but I kind of realized that I just need to talk with actual people at some point about how to improve my skills. Then, me personally, I don't know how I measure up against a bunch of people. I pretty much just look at others and think, could I do better than that? Yeah, probably. I mean, I could reliably say whatever I was a year ago is not what I am now. I'm definitely much better, more prepared, better tools, better knowledge, experiences. I don't regret any of the time before, but I've definitely improved, no doubt about that. So, going into filmmaking classes will undoubtedly help me on my quest to be better at video editing, and that is the goal. So in terms of channel stuff, as I'm recording this, I have 95 subscribers, and I just uploaded my Satisfactory video, and I bet, without a doubt, I'll actually probably reach 100 by the time this video actually comes out. No doubt in my mind. Okay, maybe not, because it might be a few days, whatever. Basically, I'm kind of actually really close to 100, which, wow, that's a cool milestone. I got 100 people subscribed to me. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, at least some amount. And I'm going to keep talking, because there's no ending here. So you might have noticed the title of the video is a little different, being Minecraft in Our Place, State of Dean. It's a bit different than just specifically the State of Dean, because I want to turn this more into just a talk video where I just talk about my thoughts in general with like channel updates sprinkled in or whatever. I'm sure a lot of people know about Minecraft, but Our Place, I'm not sure. I'll talk more about it at the end, but basically it's a massive event that the website Reddit hosts where you just put pixels on a blank canvas and make some pretty cool works of art. For about a year, I've been wanting to make a video on this because I took part in the 2022 event. I greatly enjoyed it and saw a lot of things that I just wanted to talk about. There's just so much. But I never reached the deadline of April 1st that I set for myself, so I just kind of pushed it off. And now, for whatever reason, I think as an apology that doesn't really work, that Reddit's been doing with how they're changing third-party... Okay, I'll get more into that. But basically, new Our Place event happened not too long ago, like either weeks or days before this video, something like that. I'll talk more about that later. Minecraft, on the other hand, I want to get this out of the way. I am afraid of its future. I really am. I've been playing this since I was in 7th grade? At least 6th grade, something like that. And I've been playing on and off again for several years. I'm pretty sure I just stopped playing Minecraft like 2 or 3 times. And, well, if you don't know, Minecraft got bought by Microsoft not too long ago. Actually, no, it was kind of long. That was back when I was in high school, 5 years, 6? How long ago was that? Goodness. But basically, years ago, Microsoft bought Mojang, that owns Minecraft, And the expectation that I'm sure a lot of people were hoping for was that Microsoft would give Mojang a few $billion in terms of resources, staff, whatever, in order to make whatever the hell they wanted. Well, it turns out most of that money seems to go to marketing and everything other than the game itself. I mention this because I don't understand why they don't have a lot of content from their other games like Minecraft Dungeons or Legends. Why not just put some of that stuff in the base game? Kind of bring it all together. But they just don't, and I don't understand that. It's a Minecraft game, but it's not Minecraft. It's something that's not. And, well, I think this notable neglect started really showing up around the time the Caves and Cliffs update was going to come out. If you don't know, before Caves and Cliffs there was the version 16 update that brought in new nether biomes, enemies, a bunch of other stuff. It was an overall really good update for the game. It brought new life into it, made exploring a barren wasteland a lot more enjoyable, as well as giving new progression items in the form of netherite, something better than diamond, something that literally hasn't been done since the inclusion of diamond. This was a very positive change. I think this was great, emphasizing more exploration and just stuff like that basically. But then Mojang was like, oh guys, we're going to come up with a new update. It's going to be the Caves and Cliffs update. There's going to be deeper caves, higher cliffs. There's going to be amazing things going on. There's going to be a massive list of things that are going to be added. It's going to be incredible. Well, what ended up happening is version 17 came out, and neither caves nor cliffs was added to it. So basically in version 17, they just only added the new blocks, items, and monsters or creatures into the 17th update. And people were like, hey, where is the Caves and Cliffs? In the Caves and Cliffs update, where did it go? Oh, we're splitting it into two parts. Because apparently there was a huge workload. A huge workload? Well, I hope you get it out in time. Fast forward several months, and then version 18 comes out. That is just the Caves and Cliffs. This ended up being a massive overhaul in how world generation works in Minecraft, which I undoubtedly think is a positive for the game. It breathes new life into the world, adds more content in the form of just new places to explore. I can honestly say anywhere you look in this new world generation could be a home. Whereas before you had to go explore for a while before you find somewhere that looks nice, has a lot of resources available, and just had a better surrounding. Those were really rare back then, and with this new version 18 update, it's nice to see that everywhere can be a home now. But that wasn't all of the content. They still needed to add in the deep dark biome that they should have added in the Caves and Cliffs version 18 update, but they just didn't for some reason, and we'll never know what for sure. And they delayed the deep dark until the version 19 update, nicknamed the Wilds, that added in the so-called deep dark biome with the warden mob, frogs, mangrove forests. That's about it. There's like a few other things, but I think a lot of people were more focused on the fact that there was content that was promised, but never got released. Archaeology as a game mechanic was only introduced in Update 20 not too long ago, but way back when they promised it to be in the Caves and Cliffs version 17 update, which of course didn't happen, and ended up being delayed up until the version 20 update. Needless to say, a lot of people were kind of upset about that. But also, in the 19th update, there was a lot of unreleased content that they showed in concept in some of their presentations as features that would be added to the game, but have never done so. The infamous one being the Fireflies mob, that was supposed to be just an ambient thing in the mangrove forests, or at least just an ambient thing that kind of did nothing other than just flicker on and off. That was literally it, and they didn't want to add it in. Why? Their reasoning is that if frogs ate them, they would be poisoned, and they don't want frogs eating fireflies, so they removed the fireflies. Apparently fireflies were supposed to be the original way of breeding frogs, and fireflies just got scrapped because they decided to do something different. Which, here's what I would like to say. Who dictates if a frog eats a firefly or not? Minecraft. Minecraft is a video game. A video game made of blocks. Everything is made of blocks. It's just all a video game, a simulation. If frogs eating fireflies is a bad idea, then just make them not eat the fireflies. It's as simple as you literally just don't have any code anywhere in the game that allows a frog to even consider eating a firefly. Now this may sound really insignificant because it's literally just 2 pixels that are being removed from the game, But the fact is that they said that they were going to add something like it in, and just didn't. Which was the last straw in a long line of things that, oh, we're going to add these things later, and then they just kind of don't. Mojang tries to do a bunch of these mob vote things to stir up a lot of engagement in the community. Hey, here's a list of things that we could add to the game. But only one of these things will be added in. The others will be added in at another time, is the lie that we were all told. At this point, it's kind of random if they feel like adding in other features or not. So now there's this toxic stigma of anything that's not voted for will just be neglected into oblivion. This is a source of frustration for me and a lot of other people. Because, as a comparison, modding. It turns out there are some people that don't quite like the fact that you can't do X in Minecraft. So they make a modification for Minecraft in order to implement X. X being whatever the hell you wanted. This could be the other creatures, biomes, whatever that just for whatever reason never made the cut in the voting process and were just left to the wayside, even though the game would have been much better with them regardless. People in the modding scene literally just recreate all of these things and then add in the features themselves. Most of the time improving them greatly. Just as an extreme random example of what kind of quality I'm talking about here, I'm going to take a look at this one critter from a mod called Alex's Mobs. It basically adds in a bunch of new creatures into the game, both friendly and hostile, but one of them is a raccoon. The raccoon has glowing eyes, so you can see it in the dark. He's also a little scoundrel. He'll just kind of sneak up and steal some stuff. He does like egg. Give him egg, and he'll take egg, and go wash it off in the river, and then eat the egg. Look at him, he's so cute and adorable. This is one creature amongst almost 100. I will say I don't know the personal roadmap that was taken in order to make this raccoon a reality, if it was probably over decades of research, or at least 5 years, something like that, to end up with a raccoon that has life. So why can't Mojang add something like this in? Why do they have to take several years to do anything? They're backed by a multi-billion-dollar company. Why doesn't it do anything? It's because, like I said at the beginning, they're focused more on marketing. Not Mojang, they're focused on the game itself. Microsoft is more focused on the marketing. But that is personally just my reasoning for why the game's kind of been going downhill. I desperately hope that in the next update, whatever version 21 is going to be for normal Minecraft, I hope it's going to be something interesting, captivating, will bring people in. No idea what that'll be, and I don't know what they're capable of. But something that's pretty clear to me, they're going to be taking several years to add in features that should already be in the game. So, I'm sick of it. I'm just going to add in these features anyway. I'm going to go into the modding scene and install mods into my world in order to make them better, because I am sick and tired of Minecraft not giving me progression options. I'm going to install progression options instead. Is this the correct way to play Minecraft? Well, it's correct enough for me, which is fine, I guess. There is literal decades of work and research made by hundreds of thousands, probably even millions of people, working towards making their game better by changing it to suit their needs. At this point, it is significantly better to go through the efforts of modifying Minecraft to just be better, because base Minecraft just isn't that good. At least in comparison with the hundreds, thousands of mods out there that change it for the better. I say all this because I'm thinking on adding in some stuff into my vanilla Minecraft server that I've been running for a while. Because there are things called data packs that can be added in and just directly change the world and how it operates, without the need of, like, alternative modding downloads or whatever. So I'm thinking whenever I get around to that, I'm going to do stuff like that in my vanilla server. But anyways, those are my thoughts on Minecraft going on right now. What about our place that I mentioned? Alright, so for context, there is a website called Reddit. You basically just go on there, and it's a forum posting site that you can post whatever you want, comment whatever you want on whatever site that has pretty much anything that you could ever desire on that site. You more or less just talk with a ton of other people that have similar interests to you and just discuss stuff. Anyways, the developers of Reddit have started some kind of a holiday on April 1st where they will make some kind of social experiment just to see what happens. I don't remember many examples, but one that a lot of people point back to is the button event, where there was basically a button that anybody could press. It started at 60 seconds and counted down until it hit 0. Once it hits 0, who knows what happens. And anybody that clicks on the button can no longer click that button again. And whenever they do click the button, they get a little color next to their name until the end of the event. This ended up sparking whole areas of religions, cults, and diplomatic political issues over what colored flare you should have next to your name. This event went on for several months, either where no one was available to click the button again, or people were just sick of the button not being able to be pressed for the longest time. Either way, the event ended, and the counter reached 0. Nothing happened. There was nothing special, and the event ended. Everybody got a little medal for participating, that's kind of it. Skipping forward to the first Our Place event, way back in 2016, I would say? 15? Something. It's around that range. But anyways, this event was based off of an idea called the $1 Million Homepage, where people could pay $1 per pixel and just basically put whatever they want on it. And with 1 million pixels to choose from, hence the $1 Million Homepage idea, the guy that made it literally got $1 million just because people would put ads, artwork, whatever on it. It was an interesting idea, and Our Place is something similar. How it works is that it is free, anybody can place a pixel, but only once every 5 minutes, and it can only be of a specific color palette. This event went on for about 4 days, and this was the end result of the first event. Quite a chaotic sea of insanity, isn't it? But look closer and you'll notice that there's a lot of works of art that people with a lot of dedication coordinated with each other in order to make something really nice. Overall, really good event. Very good. Fast forward to the 2022 Our Place event, where Reddit was like, you know what, we're kind of running out of ideas. Let's do it again. In which they did it again. 1000 by 1000 pixel canvas, people could do whatever, but people were prepared. And holy, things changed so fast. Since people were prepared, new tactics were put in place in order to just make massive works of art without any issue. Due to everyone's prior experience, everyone was able to coordinate at an increased rate to make even better works of art than before. Image templates were passed around to all contributors that gave everybody a blueprint on what an image should look like, what pixel goes where, and so on and so forth. These tactics were implemented pretty much everywhere. If you were a community manager, you would have a template down to your everybody working on it. This was basically the way to go, because if you can coordinate with your entire group on what an image looks like, you can place a bunch of pixels down to get stuff done. Everybody was so scarily efficient at placing pixels in the most proper locations that they basically filled in the entirety of the last Our Places event in mere hours instead of a few days. You know what, it's a pretty cool event, but now everything's all full. There's no room left for anybody to go, boom. What? The size of the blank canvas just doubled in size, allowing for another 1 million pixels to be colored and customized. Pretty neat. Anyways, in literal hours, everything got covered in. A demon showed up from behind the walls, a giant Among Us crewmate had a war with it, and I think the Among Us crewmate won. Maybe, it's hard to tell. That was an interesting thing to see. After some amount of time, there was another expansion, downwards. A Void Demon came out of it as well, turned into this abomination, which looks absolutely incredible. And I think it was around this time that I really got involved, because, ooh, I'm invested. Things are changing so rapidly. So many cool things. I want to check this out. I want to be engaged. So I helped make this little Nico face. It's cute. I think in the community I was a part of to try and get this built, we called it the Nico Pog face, like based off of the Pog emote. But a lot of people were like, no, it's like a surprise Pikachu face. And then I'm over here like, yeah, but it's actually based off of this image that's just in the game. I feel weird that I just kind of know this. I wasn't the person that initially made the template. Honestly, most that I did was just kind of go onto the one-shot subreddit and update people on where exactly we're placing the face. That's pretty much all I did in terms of contribution, as well as just trying to hold down the fort, make sure that the pixels that made up the face didn't go away. I wasn't a part of any negotiation group that literally conversed with nearby communities to increase everyone's defenses. Like, there was politics in placing pixels. Anyway, something funny that ended up happening. So the face that we made was actually right next to the massive Void Demon. But around the time that we were making the Nico face, there was also this little hello friend sign that popped up that we had no intention of actually making, but just kind of popped up. It's supposed to be for like a Mr. Robot community thing, but the one-shot community kind of commandeered it and said, "Hello, friend," to a massive void demon. This image really does summarize what our place is to me, just a chaotic mess of pixels that makes up the ideas of so many different communities looking at each other and cooperating, coexisting in a world that they made. That's what our place is. Which to me is not what the 2023 version was. It wasn't really that. So if you haven't heard of any controversies going on with Reddit, basically there was some sudden API changes that were made with how Reddit gives out information to third parties, to where it used to be free, and now it's expenses to the point that you'd have to spend thousands, millions, depending on how much you use to actually function anymore. Which ended up being a legal way to say heck you to any third-party development teams that were focusing on making a more accessible Reddit. Now, I don't have the full story, this is just kind of what ended up happening, but the entirety of Reddit hated this, and they protested for a while. They're still protesting on some things. A couple months later, they just kind of drop out of nowhere the Our Place event in July, which, a lot of people kind of realized wasn't going to fix anything. I believe it was supposed to be an olive branch sent out to all of the Reddit communities like, "Hey guys, we gave you our place back. Please love us again, please." And then everybody's response was this. If you don't know, Spez is the CEO of Reddit, the guy that started this whole conflict. Again, I don't know the full story, don't quote me on anything, but that's hilarious that the entirety of Reddit just says this to the CEO. So now anybody that looks back on this event will be reminded that this message was sent from the entirety of Reddit. But that's not to say that nothing interesting happened during the event. There was still some cool stuff. There was this bad apple animation that the Toho community worked really hard to do, which, holy, that is incredibly impressive. But honestly, that's probably the only real impressive thing that was in there. Maybe the demon petting the dog, and there was a whole storyline with that where they just hugged and had a life together. That was kind of cool. But, like, that's kind of it. I mean, there was other cool imagery out there, like, look at this, and this, and this, and this. There's a lot of cool stuff. But the fact is, a lot of people were focusing more on the use of templates in order to actually make a lot of this art. Which it made making this art significantly easier, but it just got kind of stale at some points. Like, well, there's another incredible image. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another highly detailed image. It's not really unique. The bad apple animation that I mentioned was made by actual people using this template technology, where they basically had a program that showed them what frame of animation they were on at any point in time, so that they would place a pixel at the right time, making this animation work. That is an interesting thing that should have been done more, and I am upset that there wasn't that many uses of it. Anyways, I say all this because I want to have an actual video that focuses on our place at some point, but I'm not sure when I'm actually going to get around to making that, with like all the everything that I've been getting into lately, and I'm not sure when I'm going to. But I want to. Someday. I don't know when, but someday I will. But I really want to. I really want to make a video on our place just to talk a lot more about it. Because there's a lot more story that went in towards like the event that I was a part of. That I just really want to get out into the world. Because there's not a lot of people that know about some of the stuff that the one-shot community was actually a part of. I mean, there was other stories besides like one-shot community's involvement in all this. But I want to focus on their place. Because their place on r/place or whatever. I just want to tell more about it, but I want to have a video specifically made to showcase what was going on in 2022 with a bunch of things that happened with the creations that they made. Look at this light bulb. This is a one-shot light bulb. This thing represents the world of the game that one-shot actually takes part in. In the game, it is said that if this light bulb is destroyed, the world ends. Our Place 2022 ended mere minutes after the light bulb got erased by the Poland flag. Practically an 8-minute window. Now, is this the sole reason why everything just kind of got destroyed around the same time? I don't know. But this is something that's been bothering me a lot. Not only that, but at some point there was a crack in the light bowl that was never placed by anybody. The crack was made in a mere moment, so somebody put a crack there. But who? Who did? I don't know. But I want to go into more details on that in the RPlace video. You know what, if you have any questions on RPlace, or I guess like my thoughts on Minecraft, you can just comment in the comments section. I'll try to respond as best as I can. Which I guess might just be the second best thing until I get that RPlace video out. Well, I think I'm just going to close the video now. Thank you so much for watching. You have no idea what it means to me that you're actually willing to sit through me just talking for several minutes. I have no idea how long this video is. It might actually be 20 or 30 minutes. Longest State of Dean. A historical moment in the timeline of me making videos. But seriously, if you're still here after all this time, I greatly appreciate the time you spend here. More videos like this are to come, more satisfactory Minecraft story stuff that I'm trying to make. A lot of things I want to do. Just too much. I want to do everything. I want to do everything. Though, till then, I've got to start doing some stuff first. Can't do everything without starting on it. Well, okay, actual closing this time. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it at least some amount, and you all have a good night.